Alright, let's get this out of the way. If you're watching this video, you already know what the deal is. But hold up, why don't we backtrack to how it all started? May 30, 2020 was the day I decided to document the beginning of my journey. I wasn't even close to touching 10 feet, and my vertical was estimated at about 25 inches. The highest I could dunk on was an 8.6 rim, and I was better dunking with a single leg approach. I went through my first plyometric workout ever, which were exercises I pulled off of Google. I was pretty serious about dunking and working hard, and I remember being so happy that this first dunking episode got 13,000 views. I was motivated and I was doing my thing up until June 4, 2020, where this happened. Unfortunately, I was pathetic enough to sprain my ankle while trying to dunk on an 8.6 rim. This was embarrassing, and I was sidelined for a few months, and I could barely work out at all, which really killed my motivation. Then September hit, and that's when my school semester started, and I just gave up on trying to dunk as a whole. Fast forward to March 5, 2021. I did a short internship at a kickboxing gym that specialized in high-intensity interval workouts, also known as HIIT training. I had to be the example to the online clients and basically had to perform these exercises during the sessions. 3 to 5 minutes into the sessions and I was gassed. And that's when reality hit me. I was out of shape. And then I began to get motivated. And I decided to continue my dunking journey, but harder than ever. I was making sure that I was working out consistently while also focusing on getting good grades. Every week I would participate in these HIIT workouts while also doing my own workouts on the side. I had time to work out about 3 to 4 times a week, which was a good start. Things were going good and I was getting stronger and more fit. The only thing I had to work on was my technique, which was absolutely terrible. My jump approach was bad, I was stuttering, and I didn't know how to maximize on my penultimate step. I knew I had to find a way to jump off of 2 instead of 1 to get even higher. So I did some technique work for a few months. So what I was doing was 1-step approaches, 2-step approaches, and no-step approaches, which really helped with my technique. After school ended, I had more time to work out, so I worked out 5 times a week with 1 jump day, 1 plyo day, and 1 leg day per week with 2 upper body days. I compared my first jump session with this jump session and I saw that my vertical increased by about 5 to 6 inches. A few months later, I grabbed rim for the first time in my life and I was doing it pretty consistently. This was a huge milestone for me and I thought I was going to dunk within a month. Man, was I wrong. I wasn't even close to dunking on just 9.6. I was just touching it with 2 hands pretty easily, but I was still so far. During this time, I would say I was at a 34 to 33 inch vertical. This was when I hit my plateau. All I was able to do was grab rim for about 6 months. This plateau hurt my soul and I was getting frustrated. The timeline is now November 2021. I haven't changed my diet or my workouts at all. There were times where I would skip days of working out and I really had the nerve to wonder why I wasn't improving. It should have been obvious, right? And I should have made a change earlier, but better late than never. I decided to lose weight, which was a big thing for me. When I began working out, my original plan was getting big and gaining weight. That's it. I just didn't want to be skinny anymore, so I was just eating trash food in large quantities, and it worked. But I needed to choose which goal I wanted to prioritize. Gaining more weight or dunking. Since I've been serious about dunking more, that's what I decided to choose. And my diet was not going to work out with this. So I decided to lose weight. I ate healthier. I changed up my workouts by adding more cardio. After about 1 month of this lifestyle, I lost 10 pounds going from 150 pounds to 140 pounds. I felt a whole lot better doing this, and it was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. After reaching 140 pounds, I created a strict workout routine that I would swear to follow. Working out 6 days a week, 1 jump day, 1 leg day, 1 plyo day, and 1 day to try out French contrast training, with 2 days for my upper body workouts. I did more research on vertical jump training and decided to add more advanced training methods into my routines such as contrast training, French contrast training, power cleans, Nordics, etc. The difficulty of my training reached an advanced level, and since I've already been working out for quite a while, I've already built a foundation for myself to be able to do this. Every 4 weeks, I would give myself a deload week where I did the same exercises with less weight and less intensity. After every deload week, I would change up a bit of my exercises to prioritize different things, either injury prevention, knee strength, concentric strength, eccentric strength, explosiveness, etc. This new training routine combined with my healthier diet is what broke my vertical plateau and transformed my vertical as a whole. I got stronger, more explosive, leaner, and even more motivated. This was the peak of my dunking journey. I've reached a whole new version of myself that I didn't even know existed. I continued this new lifestyle from January 2022 to the present day. I bought a new hoop which made it easier to jump at home, and this was the start of attempting to dunk about 2 to 3 times a week. I was so close to dunking for like 2 months and I was getting impatient. So many attempts, so many close calls, yet none of them went in. I was getting angry. I got frustrated, upset. Then, on July 8, 2022, this happened. I dunked 3 times this session, and it was hands down one of the best feelings I've ever experienced in my life. Knowing that I worked so hard for about 2 years for something, and finally achieving it gives you a different type of happiness. I finally did it, man. I'm a 5'7" guy that dunked a basketball. I worked my ass off for about 2 years and I'm proud of myself. I was thinking about this moment for a long time. Every day, every night, I was obsessed with dunking a basketball. It's all I ever thought about. It's all that ever went through my head, what it would be like to dunk a basketball. Now I know. My vertical started off at about 25 to 26 inches. Right now, I would estimate it to be about 39 to 40 inches. You know, it's nice to see that throughout this journey, I didn't simply go from not dunking to dunking. I didn't just get better in one aspect of life, which is jumping higher. It might be a little corny to say this, but I feel like I've changed entirely as a person. Like actually, literally changed. Mentally and physically. I went from a small, scrawny, athletically average, skinny kid with no ambition to training and mentally preparing myself to a person that's willing to undergo a journey as challenging as this. Throughout the 2 years that I've spent training, going through trial and error with multiple different exercises, I've learned so much about what worked and what didn't, what was game-changing and what was absolutely useless. I learned more about optimal movements, reps and sets, which are usually 4 to 5 sets and 3 to 5 reps. I've learned so much about planning and creating my very own programs tailored for me. Not only that, but I've learned a lot about myself, especially about my mind and my body. Prior to this journey, I was unambitious and lazy. This was 2020 and earlier. I had no goals, no priorities, no responsibilities, no aspirations, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. Everyone around me was doing their thing and being productive while I wasted the time that I had. I was eating like shit. I was skinny with a big belly. I was injury prone. I was pretty much the worst version of myself. I don't know what made me start documenting my dunking journey, but I'm so glad that I did it, because now I can see where I started from and be even happier about where I am now. I'm confident. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in my life. I'm the most athletic that I've ever been. I'm hopeful, excited, optimistic, disciplined. I have a plan of what I want to do with my life and my career. I grew my hair out and I think I look a little better too. Everything that I wasn't before, I am now. Everything is starting to fall into place, and it's all because I decided I want to dunk a ball through a hoop. I'm so proud of how far I've gotten, and I don't plan on stopping. Yes, I reached my goal, but I want to do even greater things. Jumping higher for me wasn't so that I could be a better basketball player. If anything, dunking isn't even necessary to be good. What I wanted was to find out what I'm capable of. Being 5'7" with a below average standing reach and not the most athletic, I wanted to see if I was willing to put my body through a type of torture that I've never experienced before. I mostly wanted to prove to myself that I could accomplish this if I really put my mind to it. More things to come in the future, but it's safe to say that this journey has come to an end.